Welcome back to Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. So we are heading into the Royal Conservatory, but let's check out this little hollow first.
All these charms, these runes, and fetid offerings on shrines made from me will be nothing more than objects worn and bleeding. Bones and dead things thrown into the dirt.
I wonder. Strong suspicion that this is the way to rob the black market. Yep. Guessing this door is locked and that we need to go through there.
Coin clinks together now, filled with many things. Wire, metal, red oil tasting like the sea. We slip in and out the old way, pressed close to wood and stone.
Okay. On the Oracular Order by Douglas Harwickle Historians. That one I'm very certain we've read before, so we'll just leave that alone. Oh, so the windows are closed now. What heresy is this? This one isn't, though. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's an overseer over there. Somehow I suspect that this isn't going to be as easy as it was the last time, where we could just stroll up to the top and clear out the place afterwards. See here, are any of these windows openable? No, that would be too much to ask for. Let's see what we can do about that overseer then.
Some heathen grown bold by these times. I shall not abide the footfall of a blasphemous wanderer. You can't stay hidden forever!
I don't need to. I'm guessing that what we heard was from down there. It's one of Delilah's coven. Or coven. I think it's coven. This room certainly looks interesting now. Let's grab these things.
Some confessed outright. Others denied wrongdoing until confronted with their heresy. Trinkets of marked bone, effigies of hair and teeth, pages filled with occult markings, and then the tears. They were scrambling to testify against one another by the end. They hoped betraying their sisters would compel us to mercy, but they were all found guilty naturally. We could barely hear the sentencing over their wails.
I am sorry to have missed it.
Once Pat's mother caught those in face and said she would never confess.
Did she?
No. We cut out her tongue.
Compassionate people, these, hmm? Their task might very well be to protect the people from heresies and whatnot, but they're doing so quite zealously, I'd say. Those windows up there are open. There is one thing I have forgotten to do though, and that is to deal with the bone charm crafting, so I think I'll pause the recording while I go through the bone charms. So I will see you very soon. There we go. Now we have these black bone charms. Gain an additional portion of void energy. Use displays without having to place a marker, but I use it often, but it is quite good. Hurl objects with greater force. Sure if that's really necessary, but it's good enough for now. And increase your jump height and distance, which I rather like. The ones I crafted are Swift Shadow ×4. Movement is slightly faster in stealth mode. And Combustion. Grenades inflict slightly more damage, ×4 of course. And finally, Strong Arms. Choke enemies unconscious, slightly faster, ×4. We also have Fleet Fighter, which I cannot see any reason why we shouldn't have equipped. Greater Foresight, that seems useful. And finally, Quiet Hook, which is also quite useful. Some of these might disappear. That one might also disappear, depending on what bone charms we find in this level, but I did more or less, not just more or less, I sacrificed all of the ones that I have no use for. Now let's use this and have a look inside here, shall we? There are 2 overseers inside the entry area. They seem to be quite alone. Let's let me make a hard save here actually. Then poke inside here to see if there is anyone up here. Yes, there is. He will probably hear it when we kill them. That's fine. Terribly worried. You're just babbling, okay?
What was that?
Shit, who did this? Before.
There we go. there is the area where I expect to find the sisters. Can these windows be opened? Of course not, that would be silly. Okay, let's get back down then. I don't think we have room for more of those. Ah, some rats down here.
Through fire as to keep us away, but burn herself. All light. Tough flesh. Tough burning flesh.
Indeed. Ivory Scrimshaw. I find that name of an item slightly funny. A Scrimshaw. Sounds oddly cute. 3 heavy pouches. Oh no. More take shots and the morgue key. Let's remove the evidence here. Including your leg. It's for you. You also miss a leg, so I guess there is a leg lying around here somewhere. Is Valor right? Yeah, there we go. Food for the rats. Now, I'm not sure what would be the best way to go about this. I have a suspicion that going down into the basement and then up through the elevator shaft might actually be the best way. I really don't like going in from the, like if I go in that door, there should be plenty of overseers in that room. The heck have they done to this place? Well now. They've definitely redecorated. Generously at that. There are 4 of them down there. Just save, because it is quite important that I don't kill that specific person.
What was that? One of us is down. Somebody's down. Whatever. Oh, Victor! Did you hear that? brothers! One of us has been murdered!
Oh.
Looking.
Blah. Blah, blah, blah. And more blah. Let's try that again. We put down... mine over there. The spring razor here. And now we shoot him.
Careful! Someone's shooting at us!
Oh, they were so gullible. That was a lot of voltaic shots, but sure, it'll be fine. The only thing that's a bit of a bother is that I can't get that thing down. Well, I can do it that way. Okay, now let's just have a little look around here. Take shots isn't really something that is in what you could call lacking, since we can use pens and pins and more or less anything. Trial of Lavinia Riccio. Excerpt from court proceedings conducted by roving vice overseer Alvaro Cardosa. Prisoner Lavinia Riccio of Karnaca, female, 44 years of age. Offense: heresy, practice of black magic, and killing, murder. Verdict: guilty on all charges. Punishment: reformation, musical therapy, and execution. Through enhanced interrogation techniques, we extracted a confession signed by the prisoner. On the evening of the 7th of the month of High Cold, 1851, the prisoner did acquire the blood and seed of her former lover, a dock worker by the name of William Carter, known in Karnaca as Barrel Bill. This she mixed with other noxious liquids and fed to a large hound which she named Sugar Boy, admitted to be a malicious spirit of the void with which she consorted. Within 3 days, William Carter experienced a range of symptoms, including fevers, insomnia, sexual dysfunction, and death. The prisoner confessed that this was the intended outcome of a pact with Sugar Boy, which she performed at the behest of the outsider. Guilty? Prisoner will be subject to experimental musical therapy to cure her of magical taint. If she survives this process, then she will be put to death for murder as an honest congregant. Okay. Well, I don't doubt that the witches would do something like that. Trial of Nongui Chiao. Excerpt from court proceedings conducted by roving vice overseer Alvaro Cardosa. Prisoner Nongui Chiao of Weigon, female, 32 years of age. Offense: heresy, repellent to sacred items and or words. Verdict: guilty. Punishment: reformation through musical therapy. When asked to recite the 7 strictures aloud, the prisoner choked and gagged on the words and could not finish the lying tongue even when prompted. The prisoner then violently convulsed, and a deluge of blasphemies fell from her mouth until she was forcibly silenced. Subsequent attempts to rouse the prisoner to repeat the words known to every honest man or woman in the Isles were unsuccessful. precedent indicates that she is therefore guilty of this heresy, and that her inability to speak the words of the strictures is her body rejecting their truths, which are repugnant to the outsider and his agents. The above was witnessed by the 2 overseers present during her interrogation, and they have signed statements attesting to the accuracy of this account. Guilty. Prisoner will be subject to experimental musical therapy to open her mind to the wisdom of the 7 strictures. Okay, so this Alvaro is actually the head honcho himself. Somehow, I doubt that he's down here in the basement. Trial of Constance Bow. So she's, or Constance Bow. She's of Pottershed, female, 28 years of age. Her offense is, of course, heresy. What else? Possession of profane artifacts. Verdict was, of course, guilty, and the punishment was reformation through musical therapy. Inventory of items confiscated from prisoner after capture in the Royal Conservatory, submitted as evidence of witchcraft. 1 sharpened piece of bone, unknown origin, possibly human. 3 rat tails, severed. 5 pieces of braided hair, 2 singed as if by flame, unknown origins, human. 1 hand mirror, broken, possibly innocuous. 1 waxwork doll, fashioned to look like the former grand inventor. Burned on site, silvergraph of the offending item has been filed. Item had been stuck with several hairpins in the neck, head and groin. 6 pieces of whalebone inscribed with lewd images. 1 pair of testicles, dried and strung together, found tied around the prisoner's neck. When asked the origin, the prisoner stated that they were your own. Well now. Guilty, prisoner will be subjected to experimental musical therapy to remove her willful nature and attraction to black magic. Then we have the trial of Patricia Deshkova. She is a citizen from Dunwall, female, 22 years of age. Her offense is heresy. What else? Consortia with unclean creatures. The verdict is guilty, and the punishment is reformation through musical therapy. A woman also captured in the Royal Conservatory confessed to witnessing the prisoner suckling a rat at her breast as if it were an infant. Okay. Testimony transcribed by Overseer Benson. It was a haggard thing, all skin and bones. Patricia gathered it up in her arms and held it to her until it stopped wriggling. She had no milk, but the rat gnawed at her until there was a flow of blood, and then sucked it like a baby while she cradled it and cooed. She did this once every few days until it grew fat. The wound it made went bad, and she fell down feverish for many days, and we took care of her as she said she walked with the outsider in her sickness. Prisoner's statement to the court: she cried so pitiful, and oh, the poor thing was starved. Guilty. Prisoner will be subject to experimental musical therapy to restore an appropriate aversion to vermin. I'm not really sure what to say. I mean, wow. People who came up with these things.
They drive them into nests and put them in cages. Sharp songs dig deep between their ears. It hurts us, we flee. One ran, our blood is all sadness and fear.
Well, there was a witch in a cell. I'm kind of guessing that it is the one who was feeding the rat. Shall we just leave it at that?
her dead witch. What happened this time? Brother Cardoza says they keep dying during therapy. He says there's a heretical organ.
Brother! Strictures! Are you alright? What? Careful, brothers! No!
It's them dealt with. Annoying that they're wearing those helmets. Let's make sure there are no more.
No way this is a cure.
No, obviously it isn't a cure. Did you really expect it to be? Okay. Oh, whalebone. Musical healing manual. Excerpt from Musical Healing Manual. Preparation. Secure heretics in the chair with supplied leather straps. Patients will employ desperate measures to escape the healing music. The lying tongue will implore your pity, twisting like a serpent into your gentle heart. Silence, please, with a soft cloth as needed. Session. Their wanton flesh will beckon for you, or beckon to you as it writhes. Half-lidded eyes will promise release for release, a carnal exchange of flesh for freedom. Resist, brothers. Harden your thoughts and turn away. The ancient music is the only cure for these lost creatures. Their redemption is your duty. Aftermath. Despite our best endeavors, many creatures cannot be saved. Their corruption runs too deep to mend. Our task then is to dispose of their wasted flesh left. Transport bodies to the morgue on the second floor and cleanse them. Remove the stains of heresy and help them find purity in death. Wow.
I remember these back in Dunwall. When it played, it was like knives sliding over your skin.
Okay.
They have no mouths. They lie with no tongues. Where are my sisters? I see you. You have a face. Your eyes sees into the deepest part of me. Let me out of this cage. Here, look. It's a door. It needs a key in it. Yes, so do I. But don't change the subject.
What's going on here? What are they doing to you?
What are they doing to you? Your eye has gone black. Is it your punishment? They say I'm guilty of heresy. Do you think I'm guilty? Open the door, open the door, open the door.
You know, I'm pretty sure you are guilty.
6 black candles, burned low.
But,
I hear it in my bones, in my blood.
so the elevator is not an option then. Oh well, we had to come down here anyway, so...
Long teeth, long claws, and sniff us out and swallow us alive.
Anything else of interest here? Coins up here. And another interrogation room key. Here's one of those effigies.
We came here together, my love. And now they peer into your corpse. Kill them first. Kill them for the pieces of me they tore away. If they turn their eyes on me again, I am dead. Cross 3 times. No, 4 times over the hounds and trails.
She's clearly not completely sane. Oh, we can get to the elevator. There's a lot of money on this level. I'm guessing the elevator is out of order.
I don't even know. What's going on? What? Somebody's down. One of us is down.
It's quite handy when the grenades do that much damage. And I'm pretty sure there aren't anyone else left, so... Curious what and why they have done this to the place. Those images. Another of the effigies. Did I loot all of the corpses? And the Scrimshaw? Cape of Sangunto. Somehow seems to be fewer corpses than I actually killed, but sure. They really did a piece of work on this place, that's for sure. someone was harumphing. Corroded Mind by Alvaro Cardosa. Effects of the outsider's influence. The anatomical evidence clearly demonstrates that the mind itself deteriorates under the outsider's influence. This conclusion is inescapable when you examine the behavior of his followers. Observe the case of a young woman devoted to the strictures and pure by all accounts, who fell into corruption by mere belief in the outsider. There was no vice she would not stoop to, the slaughter of animal for superstitious rituals, wishing harm to others through heretical spells and curses, desecration of texts with profane writing. Her errant mind led to rampant flesh and a lying tongue. Soon she abandoned every guiding principle and ran away in the night. Her abused and gravid body was donated to the abbey 2 years later. Autopsy revealed deterioration of the connecting lobal tissue. Her mind was visibly divided, corroded beyond repair, all from belief in the outsider. Not really sure I believe these theories. Daud would have died long ago. Same with Corvo and Emily now.
There's only one way to get the Abbey. Every man, and these people got to listen. They never do. It drives me mad.
Okay, so they are up there. No matter, I think that we should end the episode here, and we'll come back to the level in the next episode. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all then.